Man, everyone looks so cheery today. We were just talking to Ray about how he's very. You look like you're smiling at gunpoint. Like someone's like, "You need to be happy, or I'm gonna murder like your dog or something." Not that you have one, but just pretend you had one. Yeah, Ray. We were talking about how Ray is extremely irritated at the lack of PS5s, especially after just all this content.
I'm really angry about this. Actually, I'm hot. If I straight up had a choice between the two, I would have chosen a PS5 over a Series X, hands down. Especially after playing Marvel's Avengers this afternoon on the Series X.
You just how you would prefer having all the stuff you worked for the first 100 hours or 200 hours you played, instead of starting all the way over again.
By the way, it's only $23 on the Xbox store, and they gave me all the deluxe edition skins. They gave me all the Obsidian skins and nameplates. I was like, oh, okay, sure. So that's what I did. But it was angry. It was supposed to be an experiment to convince me to just wait for the PS5. And all it did was bring me right back in. All I want to do is get all max level characters for everything and play the shit out of this game again. And do it without load screens or without, hey, we're about to load for the next mission. I still have 6 minutes. Dave, you can have a cigarette. I'm going to go take a shit and come back between rounds.
That's what it was like?
It's that bad. It was that bad on the PS4.
I mean, I'm assuming it wouldn't have been much better than the Xbox One X, but I guess maybe slightly. But versus the OG PS4.
I heard the same things. I heard the same things, that this game should not have been put out for the previous gen consoles.
It's hard at this little bridge point because obviously they started development early. A long time ago.
I mean, at least this game didn't crash and it actually worked. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Which it just didn't have content for it, which is different than other game releases.
Cyberpunk. And their roadmap. Did you see the roadmap they put out again? Yeah, it's just the next 6 months.
Unless part of their roadmap is them buying a DeLorean, driving 88 miles per hour, and going back in time before the fucking release. I'm not going back there again. I'm done.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people are saying. They lost their window of opportunity.
That's crazy. Yeah, I feel like this is one of the first times in gaming history where a game that's been this high profile kind of fell so flat and left the zeitgeist so quickly. Not even a month after, people weren't even talking about it, except for the issues.
Honestly, that's good. I think power should be in the players' hands, not the developers' hands for shit like this.
They had such a jump start though. What were you gonna say, Dave?
I was just saying I feel bad for places like GameStop that took a bath on all the merchandising that went alongside of it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Can you imagine just pallets and pallets of Johnny Silverhand action figures just being dumped somewhere in a pit? It sucks because there was so much goodwill towards CD Projekt Red in the beginning.
They were the gamers' favorite.
Witcher 3. Yeah, I don't know. They should have. I mean, they knew that there was problems. They should have just held off.
Yeah.
I don't see in what world the scenario would be worse off for their investors holding off versus releasing the broken ass game that they did. I just don't get it.
Yeah, they make mad bank from their platform, and if you look at another high profile delay, Halo Infinite, obviously it was delayed 3 or 4 weeks before it's supposed to come out, and everyone's fucking hype as shit because launch game, new Halo, first one in 5 years. Then they delayed it, but then I mean the reaction was overall, I think, overwhelmingly positive, where people are you know what, take your time. We want a good Halo game after 5 years. Go ahead. I don't know. I feel like that's not that's been a change. People used to get super the first Cyberpunk delay. People were angry. So I don't know. Maybe
I think it has to do with E3 being a big problem. I mean, they come out with these promises to start the hype train way too early. They set dates that they're nowhere near getting close to.
Mm-hmm.
They're not attainable.
A year, 2 years out, but they have 4 years of development to cram into the 2 years before their release.
Mm-hmm.
And then the developers are under a lot of stress and working overtime to try and get these games together,
Sure.
during their crunch time.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't make sense. Like I think developers really need to look at
Unions.
how they do things currently and change the expectations out there.
I think it's starting to shift. But
Yeah,
public opinion.
I would like to see more things like the Sea of Thieves announcement where it's like coming in, next week.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah,
We'll talk about
you
that,
know what I mean?
audience. So stay tuned.
Yeah.
That was mind blowing.
But like that makes sense to me. Like the game's complete, it's in the can, it's tested, it's ready. Now we announce the game.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you put the release date out. Maybe not everything a month after
Yeah.
E3, but you know what
Don't
I mean?
slap don't slap a date on it till at least you have more than just what the elevator pitch is.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like get some serious gameplay in there with enough lead time to be able to change something for when the conference falls flat on your face and everybody's saying, I hate the way this game looks, as opposed to what you were expecting them to say, and you have to change half the game. You know what I mean? Like, movie theaters stopped doing the same thing. Like, movie theater companies stopped doing that as well.
Really?
More recently, as a matter of fact, a lot of times they're holding stuff, in their sleeve for like, hey, in a few months you'll be able to see this movie. Now they started to learn that we actually pay attention to those dates and we're going to hold you accountable to them.
Mm-hmm.
So at least that industry matured. I'm waiting for the video game industry to mature in that sense.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just give us realistic expectations of things. I mean, good, bad, ugly, people that are going to buy them are going to buy them. You might as well at least make them happy customers. So if you make enough money to make a sequel, they'll probably buy that too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But having broken promises as your industry model is not longevity, guys.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like
I mean, the main thing for me is like I'm not quite as in tune with the stuff that's coming out as, say, the Jeremy or Ray, but like I'm more on the Bryan side where I get blindsided by stuff all the time unless it's something that like fits within like a Spider-Man game or like something that I or a franchise that I really enjoy that I might have my finger on the pulse of. I'm not as all encompassing, so I think like Bryan and I are the guys that like we don't care if you say that something's coming out in 2 years because I'm going to forget that you said it unless it's something that I absolutely have a vested interest in.
That being said, with the Sea of Thieves announcement, the fact that they were able to keep that quiet, because that's something that I do have my finger on the pulse for, is anything Pirates and anything Sea of Thieves. And then the fact that they did a project together and I didn't know anything about it until now is... I didn't know anything about it because they were working on it for 2 years.
Well, let's talk about this for a moment. Then
Can
you guys are all excited.
Can I do the
about
intro?
I guess. Why don't you just can the intro?
Because it's better when we do it randomly.
No, you're the only one that thinks that.
Here we go. Well, if I do that, then we could just can it, and then it's easier to edit, and then you guys can replace me.
That's a really weird sounding intro.
Sorry.
Well, you had all the prep ready. Then you just swerved. I can't keep up anymore.
What's up, everybody? Ray's leaving. This is the okay.
Look, you can tell that this was an off the cuff thing because I'm not even wearing a hockey jersey. Right?
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. I don't know if they're going to know who you are. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the not as late as last episode's, but still pretty late intro to Invite to Party. I'm your boy Jeremy, joined by Bryan, Dave, and Ray. How you guys doing?
I'm Bryan. I'm the one with the beard.
I'm Dave. I'm the one without a hockey jersey.
And I'm Ray. Apparently, I'm really angry today.
I was waiting for that, Dave. I'm so glad you said that. I was like, I hope he says something like about the hockey jersey. Mind meld. Ray, what were you gonna go into from the Sea of Thieves segue?
I was gonna say we might as well just talk about Sea of Thieves. Everybody's very hot for it.
I think we should start out with that.
I do too. At E3, during the Xbox thing, right smack dab in the middle of it. Jeremy just lost his shit. I was like, I was 2 minutes behind him in the feed, so all I kept hearing was, "Oh my god!" Like he was just screaming like a little girl.
Editor, put the recording from the Discord chat for my reaction for Sea of Thieves right now.
Stop showing games. I need to get my food. Oh, Sea of Thieves. I can go get my food. Oh, yes. This is actually a cool update. What? Are you serious? What the fuck? Oh my god. No fucking way. Oh my fucking god. What? What? This is crazy. I was not expecting this at all. Oh my god. Holy shit. I did not. Oh my god. This is legit. Oh my god. Epic original story. Holy shit. June 22nd? Are you serious? That's holy shit. That's this year. June 22nd? Oh my god. Okay. I'm actually gonna fucking play that.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would definitely do that. And which was very cool. And then to follow that up, just from my point of view, I mean, this is great for you guys. I know you guys play. It looked cool. But more importantly, Elizabeth Cherry sent us all a text earlier that the speculation is this is Disney's apology and bringing Johnny Depp back into the fold, because the idea was that Johnny Depp was toxic and they were going to get rid of the character very, very subtly, as Disney does, like sweep it under the rug. So that being said, this might be the apology tour so we might see more Jack Sparrow in other things besides this as well.
Right.
So
Brian,
that being said, they didn't use Johnny Depp for the voice of this Jack.
No. Yeah,
I think it sounds incredibly like them, though. Like if
it fooled me
until I get the name of this mythical voice actor. To me, it sounds like Johnny Depp. I'm good.
Yeah, he got
it's
me.
It's probably the same guy that did the Kingdom Hearts Jack and the other Pirates video games.
Oh, and the Disney Infinity stuff like that. Yeah,
yeah, it's all this.
Well, I'm fine with it.
Yeah, he
Gibbs
does a
sounds
good.
good.
Yeah, he does a good job.
Like all of the characters that they showed, and I assume that's Calypso. Their outfit's different.
I assumed it's Teodama, and Gibbs was in there, and that was Kevin McNally. It's not much. That's a unique voice that you could tell.
So you watched the trailer? That caught me completely off guard. It's going to be in the audio, but I was when they started playing the Sea of Thieves like intro, I like my DoorDash was sitting outside, so I was like, oh, I'm an insider. I know what this they're going to be showing, so I'm going to go grab my DoorDash quick. And I came in as like the cinematic and stuff was playing. I was like, wait, what is this? Johnny Depp? Like what's going on? And it cut me off guard, and I want to apologize for Sea of Thieves fans for saying there's a drip feed of content and the game was slowly dying because there's nothing new. I look kind of like an asshole because there's a completely new enemy we had no idea was even coming in. That's crazy.
Editor, if you could clip that and play it at the beginning of every episode.
Editor, that's a lot of work. That part, man.
Not if you canned it with the intro. There you go.
But yeah, I feel as excited for this as I did when like the DLC first started getting the skeletons with the barrels and stuff like that.
Knowing that they were working on this for 2 years, I now understand why the last two major updates weren't as good.
Minimal content.
Because they were working on this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just superficial content the last two?
Relatively.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as some of the stuff.
There was still some substance there. It just
a lot of it was
recycled. Paled in comparison to the first anniversary update.
Right.
So that was the bar with which everything was measured.
There was a lot of recycled content.
Is now Disney's giant mouse dick just flopping
God.
right into the middle
Mom, don't
of
listen.
everything Sea of Thieves. It's insane. I
Cracking tentacles.
foresee this being a very big boost in both players returning
Yeah,
and new players coming in.
I'll play day one.
And it's
I will
work
be.
isn't
I
too
mean
bad.
it's going to definitely populate the seas back. I think you're going to see a lot of Twitch streamers rolling with this. A lot of
Oh yeah.
a lot of hype surrounding the release here in a week or so. There's probably going to be some merchandising because Disney loves that merchandising.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
So,
Do you
so
think?
you're going to have Jack Sparrow?
Can we talk about like the trident? They showed it in the trailer, but I think that'll change like PvP and stuff, and the sirens in the water. Like, I'm really excited. I know someone, I can't remember who on the Discord, wasn't excited for it, but like having like part of the game environment like change and be dangerous is going to change like PvP, like the long swim play, even like being in the water during a battle.
Are they going to be doing the mermaids like they did in the Insiders?
Yeah, the sirens in the water, the mermaids in the water. Yeah, that's part of the season 3 update.
In any water, doesn't matter where it is.
Yeah, I think so, right? Like,
yeah, as far as I'm concerned, I don't know. I am assuming that a lot of these things are going to be part of the tall tales that we have to go through, the set of 5 that they announced. And then they'll probably make them immersive content later, which is like kind of par for the course of what they've done in the past. You have like the Megalodon event,
mm-hmm.
and then eventually Megalodons are released into the wild. So they may be doing something like that, so they could stretch this a little bit, and I'm all for that. And then you'll just have to listen to like the feedback of the player, like if they want PvP and it's getting in the way, I'm sure there's going to be some blowback.
Yeah,
but to each their own.
Yeah, that's the
Sounds
game.
very cool,
I also hope that there is something that gives us the ability to swim underwater without having to breathe, because some of those underwater shots seemed like they were pretty deep and probably
pretty deep. Yeah, I was just gonna say that all looked like they didn't have like an oxygen bar or anything going on either. So
yeah,
that's interesting.
Yeah, I fully expected that to be one of the probably one of the best surprises in E3 in a minute. As out of left field, I think that blew a lot of people away. Ray, what when we were watching, your initial like I'm just thinking like your thoughts leading into the thing were like you were relatively tepid about the whole like Microsoft Bethesda thing. Did that
Microsoft Bethesda don't really wow me. I'm not a fan of Bethesda games, period.
Mm-hmm.
So sorry. That's just how it is. I don't like really the aesthetics for a lot of the things. There was 1 or 2 things that I really enjoyed, though. One of them was Back for Blood.
Oh yeah.
Dear God, Time Warner, thank you for saving all the Left 4 Dead players and bringing them back, because that's all it is. Back for Blood is Left 4 Dead. It's just upgraded, updated, and different characters in it. I got to be honest with you. The gameplay didn't look exactly the same, but you're shooting hordes of zombies, and there's special ones in there. The PvP is you're one of the special zombies, and you're trying to take down the group. And there's going to be like 5 different stages that you got to get to the end to, and there's safe rooms on the way there with your checkpoints. It's like, how is this not? Why didn't you just call this Left 4 Dead 3? You already had the.
I think it's one of the original designers.
Yeah,
from
it is.
The Left 4 Dead 2. I think Valve always sits on their IP, so
yeah.
Valve.
If it is like Left 4 Dead, then sign me up. I'll be in it.
Yeah, I'm in.
Day 1 Game Pass. That was the theme of the show too. Everything on Game Pass.
Day 1 Game
Pass. Insane.
Yeah.
Even there's games like you're halfway on. It's like, okay, I'll just try it. Whatever. I'll download it. That's
the only other thing that I got nuts for was Redfall.
Oh, I thought you were going to say that one anime game. Not anime. Like RPG. Euclidean or I forget what it's called.
Oh yeah, that's a different thing. How can I put this? That's system agnostic. So they didn't. That was just kind of like one in the many that they were doing.
That was
But
far off, wasn't it? Like
Redfall,
2023.
and then they announced a prequel game for it, even like for early next year. So it's just really weird. But
yeah, Redfall.
Redfall is how can I put this? It's a open world co-op shooter featuring vampires. You guys versus vampires.
Magic.
And let me tell you something. This is I don't even know which publisher's doing it. It doesn't even matter to me.
Arcane.
That just
Maker of Prey.
Arcane. Hey, you know what? That's awesome. That would be something cool to just try out, especially since it's going to be on Game Pass as well. You know, that's very cool. That's a little bit like Back for Blood in that sense, except everything's special because they're all vampires. Dude had a shotgun that shot silver stakes. Come on. You know what I mean? This was like four
the girl
different
could like
mini
summon
blades.
a thing that jet you in the world.
Yeah. Yeah, you get magic.
It was cool.
You
And
get
the writing,
little steampunk shit.
the
You get a little
characters talking.
It was very cool
it was very
the way
pipey,
it worked
like,
out.
well written.
I hope
you should
it's
check
gonna
out the
be
trailer if you guys haven't.
Yeah. So those were the only two things out of Xbox and Bethesda out of like 40 games that they announced in 90 minutes that I cared for even remotely.
Yeah.
So
honestly, it was like almost overwhelming the amount of games or where it was like trailer and then there wasn't even break. It's like Face of Black. Game Pass exclusive or Xbox exclusive. Next game. Next game. Little break. Next game. I think there's like 30 or something like that announced. But I'm also excited for Redfall. I think it looked great. I'm really into co-op experiences now for like single player stuff that has an end and not battle pass. But Prey is criminally underrated and super good. So I'm really I have full faith and confidence in Arcane right now. Bethesda, not as much, although Starfield got me back on the little train. I just like the aesthetic is different than their previous games. It doesn't have hideous ogre people like Morrowind or Oblivion, where it looks like you got beaten up as an infant. Your head is all like
honestly,
lumpy and shit.
Really, Bethesda character models look like they were sculpted out of creepers from Minecraft.
Yeah, they look
a
not
lot
great.
of the times. They
even Fallout 4,
they don't
like which is Xbox One, didn't really look that good. I'm not gonna lie. Modded, the mods take care of that, I guess. But Starfield. I like the aesthetic. It was cleaner. It was like it looked like not realistic, but like it looked like just our like space program just like pushed forward a few years. It wasn't super sci-fi. It was just like us like a little bit more advanced. And I think just looking at my notes, I think the segs were more realistic and more modern than obviously Elder Scrolls is complete fantasy. And then Fallout has that like 40s, 50s, like kind of like 50s alternate future vibe with everything as like a vacuum tube and stuff like that. This feels different. It's their first new IP in 25 years. Pretty crazy. This is a brand new engine, so hopefully they took care of its creation engine too. They announced today. I just like this, like when they're flipping switches, it was like chunky and tactile. They moved like the computers like. I'm excited for that. And the other thing I read about this after the fact, but they want to make space flight like feel like in most games, like and say like Elite Dangerous, you press like take off and then you kind of like fly away. And this like taking off and like leaving the atmosphere is like more dangerous. Like you gotta do things correctly, or like you'll burn up in the atmosphere or fall to Earth or whatever, explode. So it's like,
gotcha.
It's still like there's like an edge of danger. Like you're still like a fledgling spacefaring society. So that's pretty interesting. But obviously that's not coming out for like another year and a half. 11/11/22. So speaking of release dates, I just want to segue a little bit into this, but they have a release date for 11/11/22. Which obviously is a reference to Skyrim, which was 11/11/11. But Halo Infinite, a lot of stuff about the multiplayer. Really cool. Love that. Didn't love the holiday 2021. Because Starfield has a release date. Halo doesn't have a release date, and we're like 4 months away from holidays season starting up in like the hype machine. So I don't know.
Means they're going to make an announcement in like a month or so.
Yeah, but like
it's not a big
this
deal.
was the time. Like they honestly, I was obviously very excited for Halo, as many Xbox fans. I was gonna say fanboys. I'm not a fanboy. Fans are
fanboys.
A lot of Halo fans are. But like I wouldn't even say that was my favorite part of the show. It was cool seeing the multiplayer, and I have full confidence in the multiplayer being like a return to form for the series. Excellent. But just seeing a bunch of the new stuff that like came, like Redfall, the Sea of Thieves Disney collaboration, Atomic Heart looks like a BioShock Fallout ish game set in Russia, but it's like I had no idea what was going on in the trailer. Just a bunch of weird shit happened, and it just looks interesting, like just to see like what this weird Russian made alternate future thing looks like. Redfall, Psychonauts 2, but Halo like kind of wasn't. I was expecting them to be the star of the show. It's like the flagship. It sold. That's why Xbox like was successful. To be honest,
It's
Halo.
funny how it kind of wasn't though. That was weird.
Mm-hmm. It was kind of like very quiet.
It was definitely a Bethesda show.
Mm-hmm.
But, however, there was one announcement from Blizzard that will make Dave very happy.
Oh,
they are updating Diablo 2 Resurrected for the Series X.
It looks good.
September. So.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah, there's so much stuff coming out. Like I was like looking forward ahead. I remember last week talking about how like it's dry. It's going to be summer still. It's going to be ramping up, but fall is just absolutely. There's almost too much stuff. There's going to be have to like picking and choosing what to actually play.
Well, the good thing is that I mean the four of us have Game Pass, so at least we'll be able to get all the exclusives or whatever the case is. You know, day one or whatever, and at least try them out. So my hard drive is gonna, it's gonna feel like a drunk chick at prom with all the ins and outs of software.
Yeah. The other game I was looking forward to that, or I'm happy is finally 12 Minutes finally got a release date. They've been showing like that same trailer they showed. They've been showing that for like 3-4 years, that same exact one. And they're like coming soon. And it finally has a release date. Excited for that. It should be a weird, cool experience. Super excited for Hades. I've been wanting to play it, but it's Switch and PC right now. Coming to Xbox, PS4, PS5. Excited to play that. It was on most game of the year lists last year. That and Last of Us 2 were like kind of like taking the number one spot. So excited to play that in that studio. They made like Bastion, Transistor, and there's another game I can't remember, but they haven't had a bad game yet. So obviously very excited to play that. Forza Horizon 5. Forza Horizon 5. I really like how they it's in Mexico, and then when you hear about Mexico currently in the news, it's usually not something good, unfortunately. Thanks America and your drug reliance. So it's really cool to see them like elevating like the countryside. The cities look beautiful. The Mexican artists they're going to be highlighting and showcasing in that looks amazing. They always look good, those games. So it's like the highlight of the power. Excited for that. I love racing games. I love EDM and trap music and stuff. So it's like combining two of my favorite things into like one super thing. Just gives me excited feelings.
I've been sleeping the entire time you've been talking.
Psychonauts 2. After all this talk about Ratchet and Clank, I'm excited that the Xbox is getting a platformer kind of thing. That's cool. Double Fine's great. Tim Schafer is a genius. So I'm excited to play that.
Okay.
Compete with Ratchet and Clank, which looks gorgeous. One of the best looking games. But overall, before we go on to Square Enix, because I watched part of it and Guardians of the Galaxy. This actually left me very excited. I was so excited. I couldn't do anything the rest of the day. I played Sea of Thieves. I ate ice cream at like 3 p.m. I was just super jazzed, like going into it. Like initially leading into the show, I was kind of like looking forward to 2022 already and being like, okay, there's going to be like a few cool games in the fall coming up, like, you know, Battlefield and Halo probably, and like maybe another game in there somewhere. But like overall, I was like, all right, I want to see what's really coming for 2022. But I'm excited for the rest of the year. Like crazy game.
And then you got hit with 90 minutes of trailers. Like, ugh. It was a little fatiguing. I'm not going to lie. It wasn't. No, I'm talking about the Xbox.
Oh, yeah.
It was just fatiguing of 90 minutes of trailers.
They like strapped you in.
At least give us a break or something like that if you're going to do that. I don't know.
It was wild.
It was all right.
Bam. I loved it. Oh, I loved every second of it. I'm excited for the future of gaming now. I'm ready. I'm ready and willing.
Yeah, the gaming industry. Jeremy was like, "Oh, Jeremy's not impressed. Let's give him something."
Phil, Daddy Philly.
Wow.
Daddy Phil.
Wow.
He was like, he's not impressed. Let's show him, boys. Boy, did the boys show me. Don't clip that. Please.
Yep.
Clip all of it.
No. But now to there was another show that day. Some would say not as good.
I
Some
would say better, but yeah.
Baloney. Okay. I won't.
Dude, I told you in the first 3 minutes of this show, the only 2 games out of that 90 minutes that I even gave 2 shits about. Okay?
Okay, I'm going to say Guardians of the Galaxy looks great. And interesting enough, it was started development before Avengers and was always going to be single player, which is pretty interesting.
Correct.
It was just rebooted like 2 years in or something like that.
Yep.
But I think it looks great. It looks fun. But Ray, take it away because this is.
I know. I mean, there's not that much that's going to hit a lot of general audience. Guardians of the Galaxy looks funny as hell. It looks like a standard like Mass Effect kind of game where it's a single player experience and you got to make a ton of choices. Except you kind of know who the NPCs are and you're only planning on sleeping with one. So
Rocket.
it really, yeah, it's Rocket, right? So I mean, it's very cool. The combat's third person, and you can. Like everybody's on the field, a lot like Marvel's Avengers is right now, except you can actually call for combo moves with whichever Guardian you want, which is cool.
Yeah, Rocket had like a giant gun and stuff.
Yeah, so it was very cool.
Yeah. His gun is giant.
So
yeah, his gun.
So proud.
Yeah.
You see that look on his face? How proud he was so proud.
Yeah, I was very happy about that announcement. I was happier that we got to actually see Wakanda and Black Panther from Marvel's Avengers, which looked dope as hell. I mean, he looked crisp. They showed the Wakandan throne room. They showed him interacting with NPCs. He's getting his own storyline, his own operation with cutscenes and the whole bit. Him versus Claw. Claw looks fantastic. And they actually also
Claw
decided
looks way
to
more
add...
badass in the movies.
We'll see.
He looks way more
We'll
badass than in the movies. Like big claw and stuff like that.
Claw's a big deal. He's one of the OG Masters of Evil, so... I like him a lot. But they showed that, and they also showed a new villain sector for the Scientist Supreme finally. So we actually get to beat her ass in her power armor. They're just adding content at this point. I guess they're done with the whole fixing the platform, and now everything's good to go where they get to actually go through with whatever their original timeline was. I just hope it's not too late, so to speak.
Dave, do you plan on? Does this sound like, as a fan who, the game has fallen from grace in your eyes?
It fell from grace in mine.
Tell you what, if the stars aligned in a perfect world and I somehow got access to a PS5, and around the same time they were like, Spider-Man is coming.
Oh.
Then I would think about it. But those two things would have to happen before I would go back.
They didn't mention anything about Spider-Man at the show?
No.
Shit.
No, they did not.
No. It's a Sony exclusive. That's all we know. It was somewhere on the timetable. But the absolute failure of releasing 2 Hawkeyes back to back.
What did I say during our recording?
It's just it's mind blowing and mind numbing. Like I enjoyed the game at first, like everybody else. The game playing through the storyline was fun. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed every bit of it. And then you got to the end game and the asset reuse and the run down hallway punch just got really old really quick. The 2 different villains at launch, then they added one more. Like
I'm gonna gauge this for you.
Slow.
Post game is co-op, right? Like the storyline's not co-op, and then everything after that post game is co-op. So you finally get max level characters to go do end game, and you find out fucking end game is single player. Seriously, like you can't take your dudes like your friends with you. That's really what upset me, I think, the most. Like, I got all the way there, and I'm like, why can't I hang out with Dave doing this? Why I got to do this alone? That's the whole point of us working out of the damn fucking storyline. See, I went back
Link
down.
to our review is in the description.
So
Episode
with
12.
this, I restarted. Got it for Xbox since I have a Series X. And let me tell you something. All the fixes are in there. It's beautiful. It's responsive. There's no stutter steps anymore. There's like everything's seamless. It's kind of a perfect game. Now is what the problem is. It only released last
a
year.
year later. Yeah.
So
Oh, wow. Has it
that's
been, really?
that's what gets me a little irritated. Yeah, because I took off for work for a day. Okay, literally, I took off for work. It was on my corporate schedule as Ray is off for work for a day, and people didn't know what the hell that was, so they asked me, and I was like, "That's Avengers Day. It's a day. What's wrong with you?"
Fucking nerds. Why don't you know this shit? Plebs.
So
Jesus Christ.
So
Yeah.
now it's a good game, and I'm kind of looking forward to the Wakanda stuff because by the time I get the characters that I want maxed out again, or get back into it and play around with all the different modes, that'll be releasing soon. Still not my primary game, but if there were people playing it, man, I'd be more than happy to just skip the storyline and go straight into other crap with the nice less load time. And all the seamless fighting that we're getting now, because it really is high octane. I have not played a game like that ever, and I've played a lot of Devil May Cry's. Devil May Cry looks like a clunky hack and slash compared to the slickness of Avengers. The stylized
fired.
violence of Avengers. I'm gonna say that out loud to the camera, to the audience.
Oh,
Done.
Jesus Christ.
That's as firm as that gets.
Crucified.
Okay. It's true.
So, as a I wouldn't say I'm a non-Square fan. They didn't make a whole lot of stuff that I wanted to play most of the time.
Sure.
Although they did publish like Deus Ex, the last two they made by Eidos Montreal. A little sad that there was nothing from them really that I was interested in, but I feel like they could have showed some of the other games. It seemed like they were padding out like the hour, like the Final Fantasy's Origins, where the game was like chaos.
Stranger Paradise. Yeah, that was a little weird. I mean, they announced two different Life is Strange games, but they did announce Platinum Games Babylon's Fall. That looked interesting. That's a 4-player co-op experience that you'll compete in dungeons to collect equipment, materials, whatever. It's like you know how it is. It's pretty standard. Looks pretty boss, and it looks like your abilities combo with each other. So
I feel like I have it on record in the recording from E3 that you felt relatively unimpressed by the game.
I was unimpressed with the art style. I did say mechanically it looks fun. I said I don't know if this is going to be the correct art style for it.
He did say that.
Yeah, Dave was there. Yeah, but yeah, I mean, most of the games were for me. Guardians of the Galaxy. Do you think you'll pick that up, Dave? Or
absolutely.
Did you tell him about did you watch the trailer or the gameplay?
I watched the trailer.
Okay, with the licensed music, I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like actual.
Well, it was really weird. I Need a Hero. There's 2 trailers that came out on the same day with that music. It was Guardians of the Galaxy and then the new He-Man Revelation.
The new He-Man, had the same goddamn thing.
Yeah, it's the same music. So, like, I had watched the He-Man trailer first when that came out. It was probably maybe a couple days before or whatever, but around the same time. And then I was watching the Guardians, and the same song started playing. I was like, "Wow, that's strange."
Yeah.
But I like the fact that it's kind of a hybrid between the movie. They definitely look like they do in the comics more.
Okay.
They lean definitely towards the aesthetic, the visual aesthetic of the comic books for the majority of them, especially Gamora with the white armor. You don't see her in the movies at all. But then at the same time, they are taking tidbits from the movies where, like, Rocket, he has like a Cockney accent in the
whole
comics.
Walkman. The Walkman was never a part of the comics ever. ever. That was strictly from the movie in Star-Lord's characterization.
And Star-Lord definitely is leaning more towards looking like the Chris Pratt version. But I do like the fact that if you pre-order, I believe it's a pre-order bonus, you can get the classic look, where the blue uniforms with the red stripes and like the Guardian symbols.
Hold on. Jeremy's muted. And he's saying someone's Discord is going off, and that could possibly be why he hears Discord and not us.
No. I hear the notification. I don't have notifications
Discord
on.
Open.
I don't have it open.
I don't have. Yeah.
I have notifications off, so I won't get beat. But I hear the bloop, bloop, bloop. Yeah, just heard it right now. Someone pranking? Am I getting pranked?
Maybe.
Getting fucking pranked. Yeah, because I have my headphones on, so you couldn't hear it anyway.
I'm also hearing now echo from you.
Huh?
I'm hearing echo from you.
Oh yeah, I hear me too. It's below the threshold for whoever, but I'll take care of it. Yeah, it's like I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm well versed in the comic, but I do like it. It felt familiar, but also different, which is kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it felt further away, like more its own thing than the Avengers did. So like when we first, or at least when I first saw the Avengers, I was kind of sad it wasn't the movie cast. With this, I wasn't. It felt like more of its own thing, so I wasn't quite as like annoyed, or not annoyed, but like, oh man, it's not the real Avengers. And I guess I don't know if this is true or not, but I think I read that it's a original storyline for the game.
It is from what's his name, from Bennett, the guy who's currently writing the Guardians. As a matter of fact, for Marvel, or the last run, him and the editor for Marvel got together to make this story for the game.
That's pretty dope.
Yeah. I mean, bottom line is you slap Guardians on just about anything, and I'll buy it. I don't care what it is.
That's fair enough.
I have the action figures. I have Baby Groots. I'm definitely a Guardians fan.
I did see Baby Groot is confirmed not in the game, though. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Do they have any merch where Rocket is nude?
Yes. It's called Your State Park.
This is a callback to Bryan talking about Rocket's dick.
Oh, okay.
His giant gun.
His giant gun. I think it's just Guardians, and that was kind of mostly what I was interested in. The rest of it was
because you made mention that you play Life is Strange on your own.
Oh yeah. I play Life is Strange on my phone, so like I'm okay with that. Like it's a fun little like narrative based game.
Sure.
So I'll probably play that. Pick that up.
I played the first one on Xbox.
The Telltale's games on it.
I saw it was on Game Pass. It just didn't look interesting to me.
Yeah, it wasn't interesting to me either, and that's okay.
Walk around and take photos or something. Like what is it really about?
It's kind of like
time
loops.
Yeah, then it's basically like a Telltale game where you're playing a TV show kind of. There's like different choices you can make, and it'll change like outcomes of certain things, but it's less game, more interactive, like narrative kind of thing.
Right.
That looks. And then what was that one game? There's a game that's coming out for Windows and PS5, PS4, which I think is funky. Shoot,
there's a lot of games.
I can't remember.
Dude,
there's so much crap coming out. It's insane.
Oh, the Midgard one.
No. Oh, they didn't show that.
Tribes of Midgard. Dude, Tribes of Midgard looks so good. I want to try it with all of you, but it's not coming out for Xbox.
Yeah, baloney. Everything should come out for Xbox.
It's coming literally out for everything else, just not Xbox.
I am not buying a PlayStation game until I get a PS5. Period.
That's how I feel right now. That's how I feel.
I don't have Miles Morales yet. And the last Spider-Man game was a day one purchase.
Mm-hmm.
I have held off because I'm not going to invest any more in the last generation, especially because mine's an OG original release day.
Correct.
PlayStation 4 that is not holding its own anymore. So I just don't want that kind of crappy half-ass experience. So until Sony can get off their ass and get some product in the stores, they're not getting my hard-earned dollary dues slapped down on the table for any kind of games either.
That's really how I feel.
I'm not even turning on the PlayStation, to be honest
I'm
with
like,
you. I'm not
stop,
even
you
playing
guys
old
might as
stuff.
well stop playing. You guys might as well stop making PS5 games. There's like 200 people in the world that have a PS5, right? So that's it.
Interestingly,
Everything
Demon
else,
Souls
yeah.
remake is one of the best-selling games of the year already. It was like 2.7
I
million. I
I
think it's PS5 exclusive.
I don't
Look,
understand.
all
There's
I can
not
do,
enough consoles in the world to cover that amount yet. Like their
we
first
can
production
appeal
run, yeah.
to our listeners, all three of them, and they can all kick in a few
There's three
$100
now?
each and get us each. There is three. Well, 2.5.
Depends on if I listen that week or not.
Yeah. But if all three of our listeners each contribute a few $100, we can each get one from StockX.
They shot up now because Ratchet and Clank came out and people want to play that, so it's up to
Yeah,
$800 now.
no,
It should go
like,
down to about 620.
the truth
In a
is
couple
this is where it's going to hurt Sony. Availability is going to hurt them in the upcoming holiday season because they've already said that they're missing this holiday season with this production with the next production wave. I'm like, shoot, I will go and like if I were Sony, I would spend the money to go and get military cargo aircraft and take pallets to the US at this point. Like it's probably going to be cheaper for people to pay for their shipping that way than paying these gouged prices, and you'll probably sell a bunch of titles too. I don't get it. Like they're way
I
too
think
nonchalant about everything being sold out, which is really a turnoff. You know, that's like a girl who believes that she's prettier than she actually is. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm talking. Like
like
it's just yeah,
okay.
just not happy with the
I think
situation.
it's time. I think
Maybe
also
they have holding back on something. Got something up their sleeve.
God of War is not coming out this year already. They said so. That's kind of a big hit. They do get Horizon out west, which looks amazing. So that's coming out
Horizon
this
West,
year.
yeah.
But God of War, which everyone thought was going to come out this year, is not. So that's kind of another miss. But really, no one's going to be able to play it anyway because no one's PS5.
I'm okay with that as long as they take their time in development, because the last God of War was actually a return to me enjoying the franchise,
I like God of
which
War
I
3.
had for.
But
Oh,
anyway.
the Viking one.
Mhm.
You like the Viking with the kid one? Very good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say? Crap.
Boy.
My friend Zach was saying this. What's up, Zach? Shouts out to Zach. Yeah, he was saying like there's a Microsoft Bethesda show, but there, as far as we know, there's no like. It's kind of I think it was a misplay of Sony not to present at E3 with like an immediate
Sony's
response.
doing their lineup. Sony's doing their lineup later.
Yeah, but I think like giving Xbox all this room to like breathe and balloon with this fairly ridiculous amount of stuff finishing out the rest of the year, and then Sony is kind of basically silent right now. It's giving Xbox a lot of time to really play their cards and kind of like control the narrative.
I said,
yep.
Like Xbox has the consoles moving, people are getting them, but on top of that, 90% of the games you talked about tonight are going to Game Pass day one.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So like they
that
have
was
that
the whole
built-in
purpose
audience.
of their
Like they can have this steady stream of content because they have a steady stream of money coming right back at them that they can bank on.
One game per month,
a subscription
for the next
service.
6 months.
Yeah, and normally how much would that cost? It would be $60 a month, right?
Yeah,
but you're going to get it for $15.
And if you don't like it, you didn't spend any money. Really,
exactly.
Like you didn't spend $60 on a
you
game you might not
could
like.
dabble in any one of them that you want.
Little taster. Get a little tasters.
You can play it for less time than it takes to download it and not lose money.
I've done that already.
Yeah, so
like
the business model is just so much better, and it's something that I've been, hit rewind, call back to another episode here. I've been saying it forever that the business model of the built-in $15 a month that you can expect from your player base is far superior than rolling the dice on content that you're going to come out and charge $60 for. And if Sony doesn't come to the table with something similar soon, they're going to get crapped out because you can only rely on that crutch of exclusive so much. because the juggernaut that is Microsoft is going to keep buying the Bethesdas. You know what
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean?
yeah.
Because they know they can spend X amount of dollars and still create that content and still bank on that next month. $15 a month from every player again.
And with
I
the
do agree.
Boom,
I do agree
boom.
completely with what you're saying, because as Microsoft starts taking up more and more of the shares of the market, so to speak, the openness that's out there, Sony is going to have to change what they're doing in order to compete. Nintendo doesn't have to do a goddamn thing because they
They
never
just do
paid
whatever they
attention
want.
to
Yeah,
anything anyway.
yeah.
You just do whatever you do.
they're on another level.
But Sony, if memory serves, both Sony and Warner Brothers backed out of E3 2 years ago, and they're still on that. They're not coming back to E3. This isn't a matter of they don't want to. They're not supporting the E3 platform anymore. Like, that's not something that they're gonna validate by being there. And the
I feel like
truth
that's a little bit of
the truth
just like
is that Jeff Knightley's show has nothing to do with E3 as well. Like,
Summer Game Fest, he
specifically,
split off.
the Summer Game Fest has nothing to do with E3 because he's protesting it too.
Yeah,
So
he's doing his own thing.
it's not so much E3; it's about this time of the year. Like, I think that the environment is kind of toxic in that sense. I do like the fact that Nintendo puts out monthly tree houses, is what they call it, and Sony puts
They're
out
interesting.
quarterly state of plays. So every quarter I watch like an hour-long show of what's coming up.
I feel like that was a
I
fine
know what
thing.
isn't coming up. More consoles.
That's what my problem. That's where my problem is.
I think Sony 2 years ago that made sense. I think because they had such a dominant position with PS4. Like, Xbox was not even close. Xbox One got blown out of the water last generation, clearly. But I think, and that was fine. So PS4 Sony and PS4 could have skipped the E3 and they would have been fine because Xbox could have put on a good show. Wouldn't matter. They were way behind. They're never going to catch up. But I think them skipping this year, it gave Xbox room to dominate with and just like bowl
That's what
over
it seems
everything.
like. But Sony waiting until after E3 puts its next state of play closer to the holidays. It'll be the last memory that you have before
But they're not going to be
the
releasing
holiday
anything.
season rolls around.
Yeah, what does that matter if you can't get the console?
And I think I'm going to be honest.
Hold
Just looking ahead at what they're making,
Dave, I'm not saying that this is Sony's best move. I'm saying I understand where they're going.
what I think they're going to announce is they're going to have God of War, which is great. Ragnarok. They're going to show more of that, obviously, to get people hyped for 2022. But then everything else on the list is the Gone Home, or the not Gone Home. The Days Gone developer just started their new IP, so that's not going to be shown at all. Maybe a teaser, like 15 seconds, like coming 2025.
Yeah, they don't do the whole coming next year. In each of the state of plays, it's coming in a week, coming next month, or coming the month after. They only cover the next quarter.
But the only other thing
they put one teaser at the end
got on the plate is The Last of Us 2, or no, The Last of Us remastered for PS5,
Remastered,
and The Last of Us 2 like upgrade or whatever. I don't know. Actually, no. It's just The Last of Us 1 PS5 remaster.
I have no idea what that.
So I don't know what they're gonna like.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Yeah, but you said you knew what was going to be on the Xbox One too. You literally got shocked out of your pants.
Yeah, but that
Okay.
was like on top of the 30. It's not going to be anywhere close, I don't think. It didn't have to be before, but I think because Xbox has really covered the ground they had lost over the entire Xbox One generation to Sony's AAA, Quad A quality, like Game of the Year quality games they had every single year of the PS4 lifespan. I don't think they can keep up.
I don't know how to predict things anymore. And took a lot of things out of play, and also changed how people communicate and do things. For the fact that they could literally keep whole expansions under wraps for 2 years, guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, this is what we're talking about. We're talking about we're no longer the informed. We're just the speculative. Okay. Where we used to be
I'm
informed.
okay with that. I like surprises sometimes.
Yeah,
I do too.
I'm okay at that.
Yeah.
But
I do too.
this was like 3 surprises out of like 20 different things. But the other thing I was curious about to get your guys' thoughts on, we had talked about it before. Editor, if you want to go back through the 30 plus episodes and try and find this one specific sentence I said, thank you. Yeah, no, but bringing Game Pass to other consoles, it had been talked about like with Nintendo specifically, because then you could just stream Xbox Game Pass games to Nintendo console, which would be fine. And they're not really competing for the same market share, because Nintendo everyone's their market share. It doesn't matter what console you have, like everyone's Nintendo. And then also Xbox and PS5 and stuff like that. But do you think, is there a realistic chance with how they're building up Game Pass and buying Bethesda games, which everybody, or minus Ray, everybody wants like the Bethesda titles, even on Sony and like PlayStation, leading up to the show itself, people were still holding out hope. Starfield was going to be announced also for PS5, which was ridiculous and never going to happen. But do you think there's a realistic chance that Game Pass will ever make it to PlayStation and Sony?
Within 5 years, probably.
Are you saying Microsoft Game Pass?
Yeah.
Or are you saying
like you can pay $15 to Microsoft and then play it on your Sony console, because you can play it. This is another thing they didn't talk about at the show, which I was surprised by because it had been leading up to it. xCloud, Xbox Series X quality games on your phone, tablet, TV. As long as you just have any controller, you can use a PlayStation controller to play Game Pass games on xCloud on your phone currently.
I'm just trying to figure out how that would work logistically. Like, I don't see. But I don't see that. Like, what's in it for PlayStation?
I'm assuming you might pay more, or Sony would be like, "We'll take a 30% cut or whatever."
Why won't they just make their own Game Pass?
Well, because they can't get Bethesda.
Call something else.
And then also
because the lack of available titles after Microsoft buys everything.
And also their pockets aren't quite as deep. Like Microsoft, in theory, could buy Sony. They would never allow it, obviously. But Sony, it's only like 15 billion.
I mean, maybe. I don't see the old school Sony upper management ever.
It's true. They
allowing that.
Their model is kind of like 100% reliant on Game of the Year quality exclusive titles.
We'll see what happens. Things have changed before, so we don't know. Yeah. You know, what if Microsoft makes Game Pass system agnostic? Is what you're saying? That way it can be played with whomever, so to speak.
Do you think it could get to a point where Sony loses money by not having Game Pass because their players are getting Game Pass on their phone and like ignoring like the multi-plat titles coming to Sony platform at all, or like playing on like a different thing? Because like if someone's like, "Oh, that's coming out for Game Pass, I'll just play it on my phone or my Nintendo instead," and then Sony's like, wait, like they're not getting any money at that point. But if they get Game Pass in their console, then at least they're getting like a 30% cut of something, and then keeping their player on their ecosystem still, even if it's playing.
Yeah, but it would need to work both ways, because then there's Sony exclusives that Xbox people can't play.
Yeah, but I think at this point Xbox is.
Yeah, but there'll also be Xbox exclusives that Sony can't play. We'll still end up with console exclusives, which is what we're trying to move away from. Everybody except for the console makers, obviously. So, I mean, the truth is Microsoft has the architecture to stay out of the hardware business completely and sell a service to all the PCs and every console out there and make money
now. Yeah,
because they're not making money off the hardware at this point, or very minimal.
No,
they might just cut their losses.
Huge loss. Only Nintendo makes money off their consoles.
Yep. Effectively, that's what happens.
Of course, yeah. But that was just a thought. That was Stephen Totillo, who used to be editor-in-chief at Kotaku, had tweeted that at Jason Schreier. He's like, they're setting it up like with just an overwhelming amount of titles that everybody wants to play, to the point where it's like you have to have Game Pass at some level. xCloud Game Pass.
Have Game Pass and no job.
Yeah, I was gonna say, at least they're keeping it 1 a month. then I think down the road they're going to have one quad or AAA title per year, but based on their studios, just like round robin, just like, oh yeah, here's the newest game from Arcane, id, Bethesda, fucking Machine Works, the Initiative,
I don't know. Yeah.
everybody. It's crazy, but I'm very excited.
Sounds
for
like
the
a
next,
utopian
2
society.
years. Thanks, Daddy Phil. Praise be to our Lord and Savior, Phil Spencer.
No, none of that.
yeah.
None of that. What's wrong with you?
Do you even know the name of the Sony PlayStation CEO?
Head big dick in charge. It doesn't matter who he is.
Yeah, it does. Everyone knows Phil Spencer though, because he's
right.
your
That's
gaming
right.
daddy. Your gaming daddy.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. I'm talking to a fanboy because when I didn't even know his last name. He's like, "Oh, Daddy Phil." I was like, "Is it Spectre?" Or you know what I'm saying? Like, what
you
is
did ask
it?
that. Yeah. Oh, he's pretty popular among the people.
You
the plebs,
suck at the teat of
gaming people.
Microsoft, so I don't know if anybody out there should listen to Jeremy's
no,
opinions
Ratchet
from
and
now
Clank. If you have not played or seen Ratchet and Clank, go watch a video. It literally looks like so good that you think it's fake. Like in my head, it's like, no way, this is real.
It really
it's
does.
The best looking
it looks
game
that good
on PC or console. Like it looks better than PC games. It's absolutely insane. So actually, that made me excited too for the eventual Xbox Series X exclusive titles when they start phasing out Xbox One. Not that it's like really hampering them based on what we've seen, but like, come on, full power. Don't have to worry about.
I just want PlayStations to come out,
flop, but
it's bullshit.
But yeah, so that's our ejaculatory discussion.
Whoa.
About. Do you want to say anything more about Square Enix? We kind of got off on a tangent about Papa Phil.
No.
Xbox Game Pass.
I'm just
chaos.
Dig your own grave. Just let him dig his own grave. It's fine.
You gotta look up that trailer for Paradise Lost or whatever. That's a book, a great book or story. But yeah, go watch that. It's great.
No one's close to Jeremy to hit him, right?
This made me excited. How do you
drive.
feel? How do you feel about the future of gaming right now? Just in one, like a sentence. Like, does this change your mind at all about like were you originally not looking forward to it like me, and now you're kind of like, ooh, looking icy. Okay, let's go. Yeah. No.
I'm excited for Pirates.
What about the future of gaming on Xbox as a whole? Do you feel?
I am no more or less excited than I was previous. I'm good.
Brian,
look.
What about you?
Go ahead.
Ditto what Dave said.
I already forgot what Dave said. So can you repeat it? Did you forget too?
No,
he's quiet. You're awfully quiet.
Wow.
I'm excited for the pirate stuff, and then obviously I'm excited for Halo, and then I'm no more or less excited for the gaming industry as a whole.
You're ambivalent. You're just gonna let the tides take you.
In Sea of Thieves, yes.
Yeah. I was trying to remember what the Tides movie from Pirates of the Caribbean is called. On Stranger Tides?
On Stranger Tides, yes.
I was trying to work that in. I was thinking Dark Tides, but that's the Warhammer 40,000 game coming out later this year.
The movie poster for On Stranger Tides is right here.
Oh, shit. No way.
Disney merch.
I should have known. But, yeah, well, that was our discussion about basically Bethesda and sorry Ubisoft. I already forgot what happened in the Ubisoft conference, and that was on Saturday.
I'll tell you what happened in the fucking Ubisoft one.
Oh yeah.
No news Division 3. I fucking flipped my snack tray. I said, "Fuck you guys, I'm going home." Pissed me off.
Yeah, nothing about Homelands or Heartlands or Division 3, unfortunately. I seriously, I don't remember anything that they talked about. So some Assassin's Creed stuff I was going to play anyway, so I'm not.
It was bullshit.
Yeah, I don't remember anything from it. But yeah, if you're curious about the when release dates and stuff, there's already great articles online with calendars and stuff. Don't rely on us for information. about specific data.
Anything
Just
at
opinions.
all.
Just opinions, because we give spicy opinions, especially Ray. Oh man, just rubbing his head. Ooh. Yeah. But yeah. So check it out. I can't even name all the games off the top of my head. There's too many, and all the release dates are like from now to next year. Like, I think the last one is actually Starfield. But yeah, there's too much stuff coming out. I'm very excited. But yeah, Discord link is in the description. Join us. Talk about your favorite game. Maybe you really liked Atomic Heart or Replacer. You're really hyped for Replacer. It looked cool. Cyberpunk with crazy 2D, 3D hybrid visuals, and you want to tell me all about it and share your pixel art with me. Like some like weird Kermit nude stuff. Whatever. Rule 34. We're all cool with that. Anime NSFW. Ray's gonna kill me. So yeah, come join the Discord YouTube channel. I've been updating more frequently because shouts out to Dave's mom. She does YouTube, so now I feel obligated to do it. Like, I'm like, shit, we actually have someone who uses it, so now I gotta do it. So YouTube content will be more regularly updated. We have more stuff coming out this week than ever before. It's crazy, and you can see the thumbnails. I work really hard on them. You'll see my O face.
He
So
worked
check
real,
that out.
quote unquote, hard on one of them in particular. Yeah. There you go.
Very
See?
hard.
See?
But yeah, do all that. Instagram on the back burner, really. Let's be honest. Social media is dying. Fuck you, Zuckerberg. Anyway, yeah, that'll be it for this episode of Invite the Party. Thanks for coming to our little party. Peace.
Later, yo.
Bye.
Deuces. Jeremy's also the reason why we need canned endings and openings.
No, this is personality, man. Oh God, it's so good.
Jesus
I love it.
Christ.
I love it. Everyone loves it.
You're so masturbatory. Good God.
Yo, what's up? Thanks for checking out this episode of the podcast on YouTube. Yeah, I'm talking to this like it's a phone. I don't know. Gotta keep it interesting somehow. But yeah, so thanks for checking us out. Make sure you like, subscribe, ding that bell so you can hear the bell every time we, put something out, which is random. So if you're listening or you are waiting for the bell to ding, if it dings at all, I'm not sure really, but yeah, you can wait for it. And then you can check out our content immediately, because sometimes it's Friday, sometimes it's Wednesday, sometimes it's like Tuesday morning after a long weekend. Anyway, thanks for checking us out. If you want to keep up with us some more, join the Discord. It's pretty lit, a little crazy, a little messy, a little thirsty, but it's awesome. So you should come chat with us, because I'm there all the time, or rather too often. But yeah, thanks for coming to the party again. Peace.